Well played all phases. Good series. Great homestand. Really good series. Nicky came out, threw the ball exceptionally well again. I just love everything he's doing. I love his stuff. Stuff's really good. Ton of strikes, dominated counts, both sides of the plate. Sweeper good, curveball good. I mean, he's got 3 quality pitches working. He's pitching. I like the way he competes, but also stays within himself and executes. He's done a tremendous job.
Mike, Tyler Wade for just a moment. When you go to your third center fielder, he hits ninth and he gets on base 4 times, scores 2 runs for you, and runs some balls down. What does that say about the depth of this ball club?
It speaks to the depth. It speaks to the mentality of the team. Listen, it's never going to be a straight line. So we'd like it to be a straight line. Everybody's playing, everybody's fresh. 162 games. It's how you handle the deviations. And, we've had some guys go down. It happens. We're supporting the heck out of them. But then guys like Wade, who was a big part of our club last year, it helped us win games. We know what we're getting. We know he can come up. And on display today, 4 outstanding at-bats, 2 runs scored. Makes a nice play to lead off the 9th inning. He's a great energy guy. He's just he's an important part of the club.
On the defensive side, can you maybe break down for us 2 plays in chronological order? First, the tag out in the 6th inning. Great job by Xander to let that ball go deep. It's easy to say that, sometimes not as easy to do. And then the other one, Manny's play, playing on the shift, having to charge on that bunt, the bare hand. Can you break those down, how difficult those plays might be?
Yeah, they're both plays that, a couple of things are in play with the plays. First of all, we did a good job of holding and keeping Hap close as far as the pitching responsibility. Diaz throws a laser. And then something that we've addressed that Bogey and the middle infielders taken very seriously is their tags. There's a lot of safes and there's a lot of outs. And quality tags, flips it on the out equation. He did it the other, couple series ago. Boom, right there, catches it right there. Same thing today, lets the ball travel. Ball's faster than your hand, believe it or not, and then boom, just puts it right on him. It was A+ tag, A+ throw, A+ control in the running game. That's when we talk about win on the margins, that's what we work on, that's what we do. And then Manny's play, he's got such baseball savvy. It's a 2-run game. Suarez isn't an easy at bat. Bush has been swinging the bat, but showed bunt early, so he's back. But he's also sniffing out and, reading what's about to take place if it happened, and he made a Manny-esque play, which is a gold standard play.
Mike, how pleased are you with the approach today? I mean, you guys have taken your walks when they've come, but pretty big part of some victories lately.
Extremely pleased. Extremely pleased. We do a lot of things well that reflect being a top offense in our game. But I will say the thing that can be underrated, but not for me, is the walks. And we don't have a walk first approach. We have a, hit on a good pitch approach. Hit pitches we can handle approach with the right, based on the situation. So we talk about the Petco Park hitting, but part of Petco Park hitting is also getting the quality, getting a pitch to handle. And so I'm really pleased with the entire lineup. 2 guys that stand out the most for me, or who do you think they are?
Diaz and Wade.
They were great today, but I'm going to go with Toddy and Manny. Fernando Tatis, if you look at him and what he's doing and managing the strike zone, he is accepting the walks that they're going to give him because he's a dangerous human being, as is Manny. And he's taking his walks, which means he's getting more pitches to hit, which means he's doing more damage. Today was very indicative of a couple very, very professional at-bats from Toddy. Looks to go the other way, runner scoring position, because he can run, puts pressure on the defense, boom, knock, RBI. And then later on, bases loaded, doesn't give in, takes a couple borderline pitches, fights off a couple with 2 strikes that are close, and then spits on a couple and takes his walk and gets his RBI. So very professional, and then the damage is going to come even more so like it's coming, like it has been. And then Manny's taking tremendous at-bats as well, been very disciplined in the zone. And when we do that, with our talent, you're seeing what we're seeing.
You have mentioned like the body language before, and you like to see what a guy is doing out there. What do you think of Pivetta's, and what does it say about him when he's on?
Yeah, I alluded to it earlier. One things that we like, listen, we're in competition, so we want to be assertive and aggressive and confident with our body language regardless of circumstances. But we also talk about making sure you're true to who you are. We wanted you to be your personality, and because it's pretty miserable trying to be somebody you're not. And so in Nick's case, Nick's a very competitive, high-energy guy. But alluding to the question that Scan asked earlier, he's a very competitive guy, a lot of good energy. He's really aggressive. He loves competition, but also love how he channels it to still execute, and he allows it to work for him. So it's a great trait.
I know you're down a couple guys in the bullpen today, and Wandy's earned that 8th inning with what he's done this season. Could you go into the logistics of the decision to kind of let him go with Tucker there, and what he kind of proved in that moment with that at bat?
Yeah, we were down a couple of guys. Wandy's glad you brought him up because I was going to bring him up regardless. But Wandy looks fantastic. He looks like elite, career stuff. I mean, he's throwing the ball good. He's coming out great. A lot of good movement. Changeup's been good. He's been controlling counts. The Crow put a swing on him. Got it out of the ballpark, and I loved how he regroups. We're going to take him through Tucker there because just like the lefty on the left. But I just love the fact he comes right back and boom, boom, boom. Hap ball up a little bit. He got down the line. But Wandy's a big part of this, and, I've talked about this, and we have it. Good teams, good bullpens have guys that can bring it home. And then when guys, you're able to shake hands, get in competitive games, and guys are down, because we got to take care of them. You have guys that can step up, and Wandy's a wonderful piece of that bullpen because we can put Wandy literally anywhere. We can close game, early game, get out of an inning, get an inning, ground ball guy, and then we feel comfortable pitching him in the high leverage in the 8th today. So he's a unsung hero of the club.
I think this might be the last time I bring up the spring decision, but I know when you guys made the decision with Tyler Wade, like you knew you were going to need a guy like Tyler Wade this season. So what was kind of the collective feeling when he was staying and he was in the organization and you knew probably be?
I got to tell you, man, we were very, very, very excited, entire myself, staff, front office, that we were able to keep Tyler in the organization because we knew we were at risk with that decision. Clearly a hard decision, the last decision to, for the opening day roster. We know who he is, we know what he brings, and we're grateful that, he had the option, once he had cleared to elect the ability to go somewhere else, and I won't speak for him, but I'm glad to know that he feels like this is home for him, and he decided to stay and knew that, at some point, sooner than later, he was going to come help us, and here we are.
To your earlier point about Tatis, how much of it do you think is a deliberate mindset or approach change with 2 strikes? Because he's still chasing about the same overall, but just, as you know, the strikeout rate's
his chase overall is down on breaking balls. But I do think there's some aggression there early in the count that's, we want to remain. But I do think it's a very deliberate, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be in the strike zone with 2 strikes. And it's really, he does that, you're going to see what you're seeing all year, and it's going to be really fun.
We saw Jackson and Brandon doing the dribbling you were talking about earlier today. Do you know how close they might be to jogging?
I think they're getting close to jogging. I think they're getting fairly close. They're going to stay back this homestand, and we're about to put together their calendar that, from a baseball activity standpoint, that what they can do over the next 7 days.